Hello friends, my name is Shivam from DevOps Schools and I will help you to enable your learning process in various technologies of DevOps, artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data and many more. This is our initiative to help you by sharing multiple tutorials and videos. And if you want any specific tutorials or any particular topic, then please do comment in the below comment section and I will help you with it. Also, please subscribe to our premium services on YouTube, which will give you access to more content and videos to enhance your knowledge about all these topics. Also, if you want me to help you with regards to the online trainings and classroom sessions by our qualified trainers, then please do write me at contact@devopsschool.com. Thank you.
Everybody knows one bit. That's it. How do you enhance? You need to work with. This is one of the examples I always tell them. Don't. If you're a small company, yes, you have to do everything, but it's a real challenging. In a big companies like us, we do. Everybody is a divide and conquer kind of things. We call it as a separation of concerns. We call it a separation of responsibilities. Everybody has a single role. He has to do that role only. Don't jump into other people's role, because we do, if somebody says I'm a vault guy, I'm an application developer, I only handle encryption, I only handle IAMs only for AWS, we touch only that guy. We will never assume that a guy who knows IAM on AWS is almost equivalent to Azure Active Directory in Azure. He can learn, there is nothing wrong in that one, but we feel that one person doing 100 things cannot be scalable because things moving up. So where this comes and fits here is we have only one vault. It's like, think like that one you deployed in let's talk in one node. Let's in production it will be multiple nodes. If I think about, I deploy vault on a cluster, and that particular vault can be a 3-node cluster. Means for high availability, I'll install 3 nodes and using a backend called the console, and there are multiple backends. I'll share about those things. With just one vault, all the applications, irrespective where they're running, AWS on the left hand side, on premises, on Azure, another cloud, GCP, Oracle Cloud, VMware Cloud, Pivotal Cloud, any cloud, anywhere you go around, it doesn't matter. It will work seamlessly. All your applications need to be configured to that external vault. One use case we'll be doing with a Kubernetes. Kubernetes can be running across any of the environments. That's the next level of virtual machines. For me, it's Kubernetes. For you, it might be VMs. So your virtual machine or your servers may be running in AWS or Azure or GCP. Only one vault installed separately, and this vault can be your on-premises, or this can be again in a cloud. It's at the end of the day, it's all VMs, right? You deploy vault on those servers. So your vault, I'll use the vault as a single server. Let's assume that one. That single server is enough, and those applications can talk to this vault for their secrets, for their username passwords, for their encryptions, for their tokens. And tokens can be exchanged left and right based on the time to live and based on the algorithms you choose. Okay. That's one vault, applications running across multiple environments. Does it make sense, guys?
Yeah. What would be the capacity of storing the secrets? Is there any capacity, like 1 lakh passwords?
Capacity based on your dependencies, how much you want to store. It's a database thing. It's nothing to do with vault. Vault will never, what do you call, vault doesn't come with its own database. Vault, you can integrate with other databases, other third-party agencies. That is the beauty of vault, is it's a plug-in model. Means that vault, you need to configure with a database, and that database will talk to vault. That is where you store your usernames and passwords, or all the tokens, all the certificates and all. That I'll show you in next diagrams.
Okay.
So what is, yeah, right.
Please carry on.
Any questions? Yeah, sure.
No.
Okay. Benefits of HashiCorp Vault, right? So store long-lived static secrets. That was the old thing. Old way is I can store my user ID and password in an encrypted in a database. Assume for us, for a current discussion, assume that Vault has its own database. But in future, I'll change that pattern. But as of now, you think that Vault is a database. That's it. But in database, have you used databases before? Postgres or MySQL or MS SQL, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? As an application developer or as an admin? You store data, you retrieve the data, you saw the data and everything, right?
Yes.
As administrator, we have to.
Yeah, as an administrator, right? But you just set the permissions for a particular set of users. Only those teams can access those tables, right? Database or tables, right?
Exactly.
But everybody in that team who has that access can view the tables, values in the tables.
Yes.
Let's assume salaries, right? Salary for the company, right? And salary will be accessed by HR, right? Salary, whoever is, whichever department it is, right? But everybody in the HR team, whoever is access to that particular table or particular databases, he can view CEO salary, CTO salary. He can see everybody's salaries, right?
Yes.
Because they are HR, right? That's what is the bottom line, right? And there are developer, he can see every value of in the tables what he has access to that one. So what does it here means is here is we can see the raw data. There is no encrypted data. Just user ID and password is the only way to authenticate to database, right?
Yes.
Makes sense? If I have 5 HRs, let's assume HRs are not technology people, right? They will write their username and password in a notepad or in their desktop or in a mobile phone, right? Chances are there, right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Right? And be interactive. That's what I want to know. Don't want. And the point here is, if they are writing down and they don't change the password, who the heck will be changing their passwords? Why should I change passwords? What is their motivations for HR, non-technical guy? Why should I change? Keep on changing. If I ask them put question, make a password as a 16 characters, 13 characters, it pisses them off. They're not technology people. Even for developers, even for us also, right? Big passwords are very painful, and every month I need to change my password. How many passwords I'll change? Again, I'll go and write it down. First thing. For that reason, they'll keep their password forever until the DBA, until there is a policy in your company says that one, you need to keep changing your password every 3 months. In finance, every 2 months we have to change. And there are multiple authentications in finance for us, RSA tokens and all those things. You might have used RSA tokens, right?
Yeah.
To logging into your system,
Yeah, Naren. Yes,
right?
yes,
That expires on after 15 seconds or something, right?
yes. Based on that, the token will change automatically.
Right? But you need to, yes, automatically, right? But if you lose a token, you're gone. You need to procure that one. You need to pay for that hardware. How difficult it is. We are software guys. We need to depend on this hardware thing. It's a hardware, right? It's a small device in your pocket, right? The token.
Yes.
No.
Now
Yeah,
it's a software is also there,
Soft token has
right?
been.
So yeah, so there are software also. There are even I used to in Bloomberg and BlackRock. We used to get those kind of tokens, and we build those tokens. We pay money because finance. We are from New York, and we have ton of money. We don't depend on this third party agencies giving those tokens for us. We pay them third party vendors to build the products for us, putting our own name, Bloomberg or BlackRock, not RSA token or something like that. And that will change every 13 seconds. That's it. If I go away from my desk for 15 minutes, I have to re-log in again. So that's called as I need to depend on that third party one. And applications cannot do that one. HR cannot do that one. Means that pre-era, you have to keep your user ID and passwords for a long, long time. And that's not secured. That's not, if an employee leaves out, and no, if people forget to change the password, you're in a leaking of your passwords, and it's not good enough to leak. So what this world provides is we don't need long-lived secrets. We can have a dynamic secrets like your RSA token. Same thing, it's implemented in the software. Now think about applications. There are a ton of applications running in the production environment, and all applications who need to talk. Human beings, yes, I understand it. There are 10 employees, 100 employees, 1,000 employees. They can log in. They have all the permissions to play around. But applications, who will control those applications? So we need to keep tokens. How do applications communicate with each other? That's where Vault comes into place. Previously, it was hard coded in their files, and the files can be viewed by everybody. Now that is gone. Now, what I was talking about the database thing is that you can view all the table values, everything. In the Vault thing, you can't view those things. You have to have encryption, you have to have decryption. Only through Vault authentication, sealing, auto sealing, only you can do that one. Not everybody can view that one. If he views, next time again he need to authenticate with that one. That time it will send one more token to you, and through that token only you can authenticate. Think about applications doing the same way. And dynamically generated secrets upon the request. Every time you log into amazon.com or anybank.com, it will create a new token for you. Username and password is gone. It will create a new token that will be provided by the HashiCorp Vault. So what is the benefit here is Vault is providing all these things in a single package. Previously, you need to deal with 5 to 6 vendors. You have to deal with your application developers, your database secrets, even DBS, right? DBS deal with you deal with the user ID password. Where do you store? Do you have any encryption here, Prithviraj, for
That
your
is
user
why we
IDs and
are
passwords?
yes, yes, we are using the PAM solution the same way
Sorry?
how Ashok Vault begins.
Yeah, PAM
See, we
solution,
are
right?
using the
So
PAM
you have to
solution.
depend on that PAM solution. Yeah, right. So you have to depend on somebody else to do that one, right? It is not coming out of the box for anything. And for secrets, for certificates, you deal with other people, right? Other vendors,
Exactly.
right?
Yes,
For Active Directory,
GoDaddy,
you deal with user
CA.
IDs and passwords.
Yes,
LDAP, you deal with user IDs and passwords, right?
exactly.
Right.
But
So
we
you
will
have 5
manage all
different
this.
components. Think I'm a
Okay. But we will manage all these components like be it a LDAP or AD or a certificate server. We will onboard
yes,
everything into a PAM solution. Like we are managing in that way as of now.
yes. So yes, but is it fun?
No, it is very tough to
Is it
manage.
easy?
No,
Very
very
tough,
tough to
right?
manage.
So they hired 2 guys to work on that one. You'll have sleepless nights. You have to deal with a lot of things here. What is the motivation here? Motivation is to make life easier, right? Not to solve problems, yes. Challenging problems, yes. But problem itself is so complicated, means that you have to deal with 5 different tools. That makes much more complicated, right?
Correct.
And you need to have physical people doing that one. It's not automated, first thing. It's not secured. If X person leaves the company, then again somebody you need to hire. This is not programming language. I'm a Java guy, I'm a Python guy. I can hire one more guy to learn those things. These are infrastructure is not a fun thing. It's not a documentation written A to Z process. What you implement AD is totally different from other people. You know the fundamentals, you know the basics, how to do this one, but the components will change when you go to the new company, right? What you do here may be 100% different in other companies, right?
Correct.
Make sense?
Yes,
Right?
that
So that's what Vault solve this problem. That is what we need to stress more on, how Vault solves the problem and what are the things I have in my kitty or my company and how can I integrate Vault with this one and where to go for the help. That is what the goal should be. And it's a single binary, as I told. So this is one of the biggest advantage of Vault is people miss the point here. It's a single binary means I don't need to install 10 components to run Vault. It's just one binary. In Windows world, right click, executable, done. Vault itself is able to run with one single binary. You don't need to install 100 things. But when you integrate, that is where the configuration thing comes into place. The configuration file through HCL files, I'll show you how to configure those things, to configure your storage backends and all. And that's the integration part. That's nothing to do with Vault. Vault will say, I'm a plugin guy. That's it. You come with your baggage. You can connect to me. You are Azure guy. You are AWS guy. You are AD guy. You are a Google guy. You come with your package. You come with your baggages. I just connect to me. These are the process you need to follow. And as a certificate authority, you might be using certificate authority also, right?
yes.
Prithvi?
Yes, yes, yes.
A third party. Which company you use? Any idea?
Like CA, many things, Microsoft CA, GoDaddy, many, whichever the application
Yeah.
is with respect to
Say
those.
GoDaddy, right? So many complications again. So whenever you say, I go to some X person, they will say some more things. We use this company. We like XYZ company. We like Amazon's one. So everybody has their own way of doing the same thing. But it makes a user complicated. It makes the company problematic. And we don't have a single point of contact for these things. Now you need to have a GoDaddy, what do you call, account or something to get the certification. You need to learn Microsoft if it is a Microsoft certifications. So now Vault solves all this problem by putting all these features into one package in a component way. That's what you're going to talk. And provide encryption as a service. Extensible architecture, just because it's a plugin based, as I told. Right? What problems does Vault solve? Does the pace is good, guys?
Yeah, yeah, no problem. We can do it.
Hello. Good, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
because I want to go through
yes.
this one. Right? Understanding the problem, right? That's what we need to look at, right? These are infrastructure things. You're coming from infrastructure background, I understand. But before infrastructure things, we need to understand what kind of problem it solves. At least you need to know where the pain points are there, where the challenges are there. In the current world, people don't know where the problems are there. They just want to use the tool. without understanding what the tool offers. And what is our strengths, what is our weaknesses, we need to understand those things. Now, what kind of problems Vault solve is, it is a centralized database of handling secrets. Your databases doesn't handle secret. RDBMS, SQL, MySQL, MS SQL, those are all plain text data sitting there. Only your authentication is username and password. Your data is still a plain text when you call it up. You can have an encryption on the database. That's a different story. But for a developer, he can see, for HR, he can see all the values without having any encryption as a service. What if he runs an SQL query inside his own, HR runs an SQL query, select star from employees whose salary is greater than 10 lakhs or something per month or something like that. And that is not encrypted. That is a raw text inside the database, inside the company itself. And that is where this one Vault comes into place. That one, even it is data is transferred from the HR to the data center in your own company itself, that is also encrypted. That is also well secured. That is what the cloud and the new environment talks into this one. That is called as TLS, transport layer security. And your entire organization can fit into one Vault server. You can onboard as many applications, as many users, as many people as possible into the Vault, and Vault will provide you encrypted way. There is no such thing called as a username or password. Everything gets changed. Everything is short-lived. Everything has a time to live, and everything can be revoked at your time. You can keep long lives, and not only your applications, your database secrets, your system administration, anything related to secrets which nobody from outside world, nobody unauthorized people in the same team cannot see. Instead of storing in the text files, instead of storing in the notepads, instead of storing in somewhere else, you can store effectively in the Vault itself. One Vault across the organization. How do you scale it? Those are all add-on components. You need to do that one. But Vault can help you in all these things. So increase eliminating long-lived credentials. That's one thing. Encryption as a service to the organization. As I told, everything data transfer. Even people think Prithvi and Kiran are the same, Priya are the same part of the same team. You have to trust with each other, right? You might be using some shared credentials. There are incidences where you have shared accounts also, right? People have shared accounts, right?
Yes. Service account.
Right. So that shared account is again a security loophole, right?
Yes.
What if what if some XYZ person has screwed up the database and he says we three shared this account, but who screwed this one? Nobody knows, right? When it's a shared account, it's a very risky business, right? Always apply in real time. We are in a cloud world, we are in a Kubernetes world, we are running tons and tons of applications, tons and tons of credentials needed. IAM itself is a big role. It's a security itself, a security engineer itself is a big role. And security is on top list priority. People underestimate security, but security is on top of the list of every organization. Security goes up, everything goes up. Application go die, business can lose money, but not the security. And automate the generation of certification for authentication. So this is what I'm telling. I don't need GoDaddy, I don't need Microsoft One, I don't need anybody's third party. I can make my Vault itself as a certificate authority. I can authenticate that certifications through TLS securities, to CA certificates and all through Vault itself. Vault can act like a certification manager for you. Now all these things fits into one particular Vault. That's what Vault solves this one. Vault doesn't solve any other problems. It's all scoping about what kind of problems. User ID, passwords, credentials, secrets, anything sensitive data sitting in your applications, which should not be shared across the teams or outside the teams, and it should be encrypted. It's not stored in a database. It should be encrypted and stored in a database. In order to access that one, you need to go through encryption. And
Yeah,
this
no,
is
like
what,
one,
any question?
sorry, one question. Like even a Vault administrator
Yeah.
cannot see the password for application or for a
Yes,
server or for a
yes.
database.
He has to request. No,
Okay.
he has to request. He get a new one. You can keep it. Long lived, you can keep it. But everything is encrypted. It is
Okay.
not advised. Because you need to request it. It is tied up with your user ID. That's it. But the password is not the same thing. We call it as a keys or tokens. You get a token, you keep on changing the token.
How come the application comes to know like token has changed? Whether the Vault will update the
Application
application
will
with
be
the own.
configured with the token. Okay. Okay. Put it this way. So Vault has a policies, read and write. You store for that particular application, that is the secret it is storing, key value pair. Let's put it username equal to password, something, right? So you need to store in the Vault. In order to authenticate the Vault, the application should be configured to talk to Vault.
Right.
And that is what the configuration file is, HCL configuration for that particular application. When the application authenticates it, then only it will get the new password to play around with that one. First of all, we need to give access to those applications that we need to give it. An application, so put it this way, an application has access to this, what do you call, database credentials, connection strings. Let's put it this, for example sake, I have a front end application which just gets the employee details, and employee details are in a database. So what in previous world is, we put that connection string, username, password, database name, table name, everything in the properties file in Java. Right? That's a separate text file apart from your application. Whenever this application runs in production, it reads this property file, and your application, your Java application, will go and read this properties file, look at that field. Oh, this is the database I need to connect. Okay, then whether I have the permission, just because it has a username and password in the properties file, it runs that username and password and connect to those tables with right permissions. That's the pre world, right? And now in the current world, what is happening here is the same thing. What the properties dot file is there, now you are dumping that username, password, credentials, everything in a Vault database. And now application is talking to Vault. Still the information is stored in separate place, but it's an encrypted. But only you have additional thing here is your application is configured in no more text file here. Your application will be directly talking to the Vault. And through the Vault, it has a connection string. It has to talk to the Vault, and it will not be talking with the user ID and password. It will be policies. We have tokens. I am the guy. I'm XYZ application. I have access to these secrets and passwords in the Vault. Please get me the new password for me. I can have a single password, static password also. Nothing wrong in that one. But all I'll be talking here is my application is talk to Vault. I need database permissions for this particular employee table. So Vault will look at that Vault paths and say, okay, this application is accessible. Yes, he has a right permission. Now I will give him the new password for that token, not a password. Let's remove the word called as a password, token. And that application will take that token and talk to the database. How does the database knows that one? Database will validate with Vault again, saying that is it a valid password or not? Valid token, sorry.
Okay.
Now, the move from the LDAP or AD is moved from those places to the from a text file to the Vault, and your application will be talking to the Vault. We'll show with the examples, then you get some idea about that one. Make sense?
Okay.
Yeah, Naren, just
Everything.
clarify. Hello.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, from your point, I got that. I mean, I'm just comparing it. It's like related to the key value, whatever you spoke. Is it related to the comparisons
Key
of
value.
like,
What is key?
yeah. I mean, it's like we do have like
Yes.
in AWS the key management, Azure Key
Absolutely.
Vault. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. The first word. Yeah, you're right. You made it right. Key Vault. Yes, it's a key value pair. That's it.
Yeah. Okay. Fine.
The first statement itself says, right, the features of HashiCorp Vault is it's just a key value. When you run some examples, you'll understand what it is. See, it's username, password. What is there? There is no structure here, right? Username, password. Simple thing. It's only username, password. Key is a username, password is a password. End of the day, that is what authentication is all about, right? And same thing in the Vault also. It is just storing that information in an encrypted format. That's what. Previously, it was not there. Now, it is encrypted now. Now, what we are making mandatory. See, Vault is not solving a problem which is not solved. It is already solved. But I need to deal with 10 different products. And that's the challenge. And for everything, CA certificate, I need to go to CA certificate vendor. For database credentials, I need to go to DB guys. For system administration, so everybody will have their own way of storing this information. Now, Vault is coming and saying that one, don't do that one. We are in a highly insecure, even if within your data center, within your company, don't trust X person, don't trust this guy, don't trust anything. Let it be automated. Let it even inside 5 developers owns those applications, 5 DBAs owns the database. Still, we don't want to use the same username and password. There would be security loopholes. Employees can be rogue. They will destroy something and go away. Right? How many people, I don't know about your firm, in finance world, if an employee leaves the company, we need to delete his entire stuff in the company itself. I can write it and give it to you. There are many non-financial companies, non-fintech companies, which even an employee leaves, their username password still exist. Nobody cleans up their old username and password. Think about applications. Developers come and go. They can remember username and passwords, and that is there forever. They can screw around with the application. Now, those things are all gone. With the Vault, everything is encrypted. There is no such thing called as I'm the boss, I need to know everything. Yes, you can get everything, but you need to set policies. You need to set right authentication. Then only you'll get to know. And that will be keep on changing. He cannot remember anything after one day based on your time to leave passwords or tokens or anything. That's what it is. Actually, it's all about token. So when if you I don't know what kind of, I use a lot of things, GitHub, right? So when you remember, if you're using online services, when you say forgot password, it will send you a link, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Right? That link is always dynamically generated. That is called security, right? That links are dynamically generated because of security. Now, no more directly sending you reset password, go to that one. They will send you a separate link. You can look at that one. That link will be expiring after 10 minutes. It's a bank or any kind of services you think about, that's called as high level encryption. And that link is only valid for you and nobody can't access that one. That's all encrypted. So that is what Vault in an organization it solves. Always think about, just because cloud has come into place, cloud is having multiple problems and applications running on those clouds have multiple ways of authentication. When you are moving your application to cloud, you are going to a very insecure world. Do you agree or not? When I move my applications from my on-premises, moving to the cloud environment, what AWS or Azure provides, is it secure or insecure?
It's secure only. That is the reason people are moving.
Just think. Sorry?
See, initially we were managing everything in on-premise. Now there is a third party who is providing our SLA, stating that you will be having 24/7, 365 days up and running servers.
Yes. Good. That's a valid answer. That's fine. But still, I am putting my own in a different parlance. If I say I am teaching my kid in a school which is just 5 kilometers away or in the same town, if I have kids, let's assume, right? And there is a difference between putting my kid in a hostel and teaching my kid in a home. There's a lot of difference, right?
Exactly.
My kid lives in front of me. I see him going to school every day. He goes to school. I know what is happening because he stays with me. But what if I give my kid to the hostel? I lose all the control, right? Yeah, I believe hostel will take care of it, but still there is a risk. Yeah, they will provide all the facilities. Nobody is telling that one hostel warden or principal. That's the reason you're paying money to them. You assume that one. Yes, it's a well secured. Hostel is well secured. Principal is good. College is good. Whatever you're paying so much money, they will take care. But still, you will be concerned that one. I don't see your kid every day. Make sense?
Correct.
Right, parlance. So even if they say secured, we are there. See, obviously they are number one on the planet Earth. There is no question about it. But still, I don't trust them because it's my baggage, my application, my kid is running in their environments. End of the day, your applications are important, right? For you, not for them. For them, they are running hundreds of students. It's the same thing. Hostel can run 100 students, right?
Along with that, you can access our other tutorials such as Docker, Ansible, Jenkins, Terraform, Splunk, AWS, Azure, and various other DevOps-related premium tutorials with our channel membership. If you would have any issues with our channel membership, you can drop an email to us at contact@devopsschool.com, or you can also unsubscribe from channel membership anytime if you don't want to continue or did not like the video. To get our channel membership, click onto the join button, select the 3D99 plan and grow your skills immensely. Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest. Thanks for watching.